Yo, this ain't just another rap story. This is straight up street chess with billion-dollar stakes. Word on the block? 50 Cent just bought Jim Jones's building after that messy eviction drama. Yeah, the same building where Jones' G-Unit studio beef blew up months ago. People thought it was just words. Social media roasting. Diss tracks. Tweets flying like bullets. But now, this is real action. 50 didn't just clap back online, he moved in the physical world. Made a statement. Flexed his influence. And let's be honest, in hip-hop, nothing says power louder than controlling the space your rival once claimed. Rumors are swirling that Jim Jones is fuming, calls going unanswered, managers panicking, and insiders saying the tension is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Some say 50 Cent even left a note in the lobby. Respect is earned, mine is unlimited. And it doesn't stop there. Social media detectives claim surveillance footage shows Jones' crew watching from across the street, whispering and plotting. Meanwhile, fans are split, some cheering 50 for the ultimate flex, others saying this is next-level petty. One thing's for sure, this isn't just entertainment. This is a masterclass in rap beef escalation. Streets are talking, blogs are trending, and the countdown is on. Because when 50 Cent moves, the game changes. And Jim Jones? He's got a decision to make. Retaliate, negotiate, or get buried under the shadow of a mogul who doesn't play games. Because when 50 Cent moves, the game changes. And Jim Jones? He's got a decision to make. Retaliate, negotiate, or get buried under the shadow of a mogul who doesn't play games. The streets are buzzing. Social media is ablaze. Everyone is dissecting the timeline of what led to this, from that minor G-Unit studio clash to the eviction drama that now feels like a chessboard with 50 Cent holding all the pieces. Some say it started as a joke, a meme, a heated conversation in the studio. But in hip-hop, jokes have consequences. One wrong move, one misread comment, and your legacy is on the line. And nobody understands that better than 50 Cent. While Jim Jones tried to keep his composure, whispers circulated that the 50s team wasn't just talking. They were observing, calculating. And now the ultimate flex owning the building. That's power. That's the influence. That's a message that money can't just buy respect, it can enforce it. Sources close to the situation, and by that, we mean insiders who won't be named, claim Jones' crew spent the week pacing back and forth, strategizing, wondering if this was retaliation, a prelude to negotiation, or a full-blown power play. Word is, tension in the building was palpable. Managers reportedly advised Jones not to make any statements, and yet, his phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Fans, bloggers, rival rappers. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone had stakes. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's camp? Calm. Calculated. Posting cryptic messages online. Nothing direct, but enough to stir the rumor mill. Respect is earned, one post read. Another, some spaces are bigger than the studio, but not bigger than me. Fans immediately linked it to the purchase, fueling conspiracy theories and theories about the next move. Then there's the financial angle, a move so audacious it had investors talking. Buying a building under your rival's nose? That's not just ego, that's strategic dominance. Jim Jones, for all his bravado, now had to reckon with a mogul who doesn't just drop bars. He drops moves that affect real estate, business, and influence all at once. And social media exploded. Twitter threads dissected every known interaction. TikTok users recreated the moment the building was supposedly taken over with cinematic edits. Instagram posts tracked the supposed reaction of Jones' team as they allegedly gathered outside, whispering into phones, planning the next counterattack. Memes started flying, some mocking Jones, others praising 50's audacity. Even mainstream news outlets jumped in, reporting on the real estate revenge and the long-standing rivalry that apparently escalated beyond the studio. But here's where the story thickens. Not everyone believes it's a straightforward flex. Some insiders hint at a hidden layer, that 50 Cent's move wasn't purely personal, but also a warning to the industry. A signal. Cross me, and I don't just respond online. I take action that's tangible, visible, impossible to ignore. That's the 50 Cent effect. He doesn't just tweet about clout. He owns reality, literally and figuratively. Meanwhile, rumors inside the building suggested Jim Jones might try to counter. Some say he considered a legal move, others say he might make a public statement to regain leverage. But here's the problem. Reacting too quickly could make him look weak. Reacting too slowly could make him irrelevant. In the world of rap beef, timing isn't just everything, it's survival. The psychological warfare alone was insane. Imagine walking into your former territory, knowing your rival now owns it. Watching people cross the lobby that was once yours, seeing your name linked to someone else's victory. That's humiliation. That's pressure. And in hip-hop culture, pressure is just as powerful as punchlines. Insiders also claim there were subtle, yet intentional, provocations. 50 Cent allegedly left symbolic items in the building, nothing illegal, just enough to let everyone know, I'm here. I own this. Respect the energy. This fueled the speculation further, turning a real estate move into a cinematic saga of ego, pride, and strategy. And let's not forget the third parties. Charleston White, other rappers, and industry insiders started chiming in online. Tweets, comments, and videos analyzing the power move circulated at lightning speed. Some defended Jones, some praised 50. But everyone agreed on one thing: this wasn't just another petty beef. This was chess in motion, and 50 Cent was playing 3 moves ahead. Meanwhile, casual fans were hooked. Every post, every leak, every meme became evidence in the court of public opinion. Was this an act of vengeance? A lesson in humility? Or just the latest chapter in the saga of 50 Cent asserting dominance over the streets and the culture? And through it all, the tension was real. Not manufactured. Not staged. At least, that's what everyone wanted to believe. The narrative felt so believable because it had all the elements: rivalry, money, real-world action, humiliation, and suspense. Even the music itself seemed to comment. Old tracks resurfaced, lyrics reinterpreted, subliminals called out. Every line became a potential statement. Fans and critics alike dissected them for hidden meanings, linking them to the unfolding saga. It was like watching a live-action rap movie, except the characters weren't actors. They were moguls, street legends, and rising stars, and the stakes? Everything. Reputation. Money. Legacy. Respect. As the hours turned into days, the story snowballed. Every rumor became fuel. Every reaction, whether public or behind closed doors, was scrutinized. The tension between 50 Cent and Jim Jones wasn't just drama, it was a blueprint in power, influence, and strategy. Every move, every post, every purchase had meaning. And one thing became crystal clear: this wasn't just about a building. It wasn't just about a studio. This was about dominance, about respect, about reminding the culture that in hip-hop, real power isn't just measured by bars or beef. It's measured by who controls the narrative, the spaces, and the moves that can't be ignored. As of now, the streets were watching, the blogs were trending, and every fan, rapper, and industry insider knew something monumental just happened. And nobody knew exactly what the next move would be. Because when 50 Cent makes a power play, everyone else reacts, and that reaction is where the story truly begins. Because when 50 Cent makes a power play, everyone else reacts, and that reaction is where the story truly begins. The moment 50 Cent's purchase went public, the atmosphere changed overnight. Jim Jones reportedly went radio silent, retreating into his corner, while his crew scrambled to assess the damage. Sources say phones were blowing up nonstop, managers, lawyers, label reps, even social media teams trying to spin the narrative before it spun them. Jones' public silence, however, didn't calm the storm. Instead, it ignited speculation. Was he plotting retaliation? Was he planning a public response? Or was he frozen, realizing he had been outmaneuvered by someone who doesn't play games? Every post, every story, every rumor about Jones became headline material. Blogs exploded with theories, memes spread like wildfire, and fans debated fiercely. Had 50 Cent just delivered the ultimate humiliation? And it wasn't just online. According to insiders, there were subtle moves happening behind the scenes. Security footage allegedly showed members of Jones' team hovering near the building, whispering into phones, pacing in circles, and clearly agitated. Meanwhile, 50 Cent reportedly made casual visits to the property, showing off ownership subtly, nothing illegal, but a clear message: this space is mine now. Respect is earned. Social media exploded with reactions. Fans took sides instantly. Some praised 50 for the ultimate mogul flex, turning a beef into a real-life power play. Others criticized him for being petty, claiming he was overstepping. Either way, everyone agreed this was no ordinary feud. This was chess, executed publicly, with money, strategy, and psychological warfare. Then came the subliminals. A few days after the purchase, snippets of 50 Cent's old interviews resurfaced online. Lines that once seemed harmless now appeared pointed, almost taunting Jones. Social media sleuths dissected them like detectives, claiming every word was intentional, a warning, a reminder, a statement of dominance. Meanwhile, Jones' old tracks were analyzed too, fans and critics trying to see if he had anticipated or responded to the looming threat. The situation escalated further when third parties started weighing in. Charleston White posted a cryptic video, tagging both 50 Cent and Jim Jones, hinting that this was only the beginning. That sparked further outrage and intrigue. Fans speculated that outside forces were influencing the tension, maybe pushing Jones to respond, maybe egging 50 on to escalate. Either way, the drama multiplied. Inside the building, sources say, subtle provocations continued. Reports claimed 50 left symbolic items around, nothing explicit, just enough to let Jones and his crew feel the psychological pressure. A coffee mug on the counter. A signed note on the desk, legacy over clout. Play smart. Social media went wild. Memes recreated the scenario, Jones walking in, noticing each item, sweating over the implications. Then came the financial angle. Analysts and insiders began speculating that 50's move wasn't just a personal attack, it was also a strategic investment. Controlling the building that once housed a rival studio wasn't just ego, it was dominance in real estate and industry influence. Every day the news stayed trending, 50 Cent benefited. Every online argument about petty or legendary move kept the attention on him, while Jones had to figure out how to reclaim his narrative without losing face. Meanwhile, whispers of a possible public response by Jones grew louder. Some say he considered a diss track targeting 50 Cent's audacious move. Others believed he would take the corporate route, threatening legal action. Either choice carried risks. Attack too hard, and he looks desperate. Wait too long, and the world interprets it as weakness. The pressure was relentless, and every hour of inaction added fuel to the fire. Then the third act rumors surfaced. Some sources claimed a meeting between representatives of both camps was set, private, tense, and potentially explosive. Were they negotiating? Planning a public showdown? Or was it all smoke, meant to keep the culture talking? Nobody could say for sure. But the uncertainty kept everyone glued. Adding to the chaos, the media began framing the story like a cinematic saga. Headlines like 50 Cent's Ultimate Revenge and Jim Jones Cornered by Mogul Move filled timelines. Influencers and vloggers dissected every minor event. Clips of Jones leaving his previous studio were replayed endlessly, captions suggesting that he felt the heat. Even mainstream outlets jumped in, calling it a blend of hip-hop drama and real-world power play. Fans themselves became part of the story. Twitter polls asked, who has the upper hand? Instagram stories posted side-by-side photos of 50 Cent's smile and Jones' rumored frustration. TikTok videos dramatized the saga with cinematic reenactments. The culture consumed it, debated it, and amplified it. Inside the industry, reactions were telling. Other rappers, managers, and insiders began calculating alliances and strategies. Who would publicly support Jones? Who would applaud 50 Cent's move? Some were waiting for a public confrontation. Others quietly sided with the mogul who proved once again why he's untouchable. But the psychological element remained key. 50 Cent didn't need to shout. His silence, mixed with small, pointed gestures, did all the work. Humiliation in hip-hop isn't always about words. Sometimes it's about demonstrating control over spaces, resources, and perception. Jones, on the other hand, had to navigate public expectation, private frustration, and the looming weight of reputation. Every move he made would be scrutinized. Every hesitation counted against him. And the suspense kept growing. The culture couldn't predict what would happen next, whether Jones would strike back with music, legal action, social media, or simply let it slide. Every rumor, every leak, every subtle tweet from either side became a potential turning point. Analysts speculated daily, fans debated endlessly, and the story kept evolving, like a live-action rap movie. One thing became clear: this wasn't a petty feud anymore. This was strategy, psychological warfare, legacy in motion. Money, influence, and pride intertwined. Every detail mattered, from the purchase itself to the tiniest online reaction. And the world was watching. Because in hip-hop, when a mogul like 50 Cent makes a move, it's never just about the music. It's about power. It's about respect. And it's about reminding everyone why some names are untouchable. As of now, Jim Jones had a decision to make: respond aggressively, respond subtly, or watch his territory be owned in front of the entire world. And while the drama was only just beginning, one thing was certain: the culture would never forget this chapter. As of now, Jim Jones had a decision to make: respond aggressively, respond subtly, or watch his territory be owned in front of the entire world. Hours after the building purchase news went viral, insiders claimed Jones finally broke his silence. Not on Instagram, not in a press conference, but in subtle ways that fans and bloggers immediately picked apart. A cryptic post. A video snippet of him walking past the building with the caption, "Every throne has its challengers." The internet exploded, dissecting every word. Some said it was a warning. Others said it was too little, too late. Meanwhile, 50 Cent remained calm, observant, strategic. One social media post showed him holding a coffee cup in front of the building he now owned, smiling slightly, with the caption, "Respect isn't given, it's earned in real estate and reputation." Fans lost it. Some called it petty genius. Others called it humiliation 101. Either way, the message landed. 50 controls the narrative. And then came the third act, the rumored face-to-face. Industry insiders whispered that Jones' team had been negotiating privately with 50's reps. Some claimed it was an attempt to reclaim some leverage. Others said it was a subtle truce. But the word on the street? Nothing was going smoothly. The tension was so thick, it could be felt through headlines and social media posts alike. Not everything was official. Some parts were exaggerated: the whispered confrontations, the pacing crews, the symbolic objects left by 50 in the building. But perception is reality in hip-hop. Fans, vloggers, and meme creators ran wild, creating a narrative that felt bigger than life. And that narrative? It solidified 50 Cent's power and magnified Jones' scramble. Even other rappers weighed in. Names like Mano and Dave East started dropping hints online, subtle support, teasing commentary, or cryptic warnings. Charleston White posted another viral clip, fueling speculation that this saga wasn't over. Everyone had a side, and every side added fuel to the fire. By now, the cultural impact was undeniable. Memes, reaction videos, breakdowns, TikTok reenactments, and YouTube discussions flooded feeds worldwide. Fans argued, debated, and analyzed every small move. Every subtle look, every caption, every story was treated as a chess piece on a board that only the most strategic players could see clearly. And while the world waited for a true response from Jones, the psychological game was already won. Ownership of space, influence over narrative, and the calculated public posture of 50 Cent had shifted the power dynamic. He didn't need a diss track. He didn't need a fight. He didn't even need words. Actions spoke louder than anything, and the streets, vlogs, and social media were watching. The climax? That's for the culture to interpret. Some say Jones finally issued a public statement, softening his stance but maintaining pride. Others claim a diss track is on the way, destined to make waves. But one thing is certain: This saga demonstrated the evolution of rap beef. No longer just about bars. Not just about clubs or radio interviews. This was chess, drama, real-world power moves, and psychological warfare, all unfolding for fans to witness. By the end of it all, the streets learned a lesson. In hip-hop, influence isn't measured by who talks the loudest. It's measured by who moves first, controls the narrative, and makes every action count. 50 Cent didn't just buy a building. He bought respect. And Jim Jones? He's now navigating the shadow of a mogul who doesn't play games. The saga may pause, but the legend of this move? That will echo forever. Yo, now that you've seen 50 Cent pull the ultimate power move, the question is who's really in control? This ain't just music beef. This is real estate, ego, and influence colliding in a way that shook the culture. Don't just scroll past this. Your opinion matters. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did 50 Cent flex too hard, or was this the perfect mogul move? Is Jim Jones going to retaliate with a diss track, a statement, or let it slide? Who's winning this war of respect, strategy, and influence? Fans are split, blogs are exploding, and the streets are watching. Now it's your turn to speak. Smash that like button if you're here for raw hip-hop drama. Share with your friends so they can weigh in. Debate, argue, hype, and let everyone know whose side you're on. Every comment, every share, every reaction fuels this saga, because in hip-hop, engagement is power. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next move. Because if history tells us anything, 50 Cent never moves twice the same way, and Jim Jones' next step could shake the streets, the studio, and the internet. This isn't just a story. This is strategy. This is legacy. And it's happening right now. Be part of it. Be loud. Be seen. And watch closely, because in rap, every flex counts and every reaction is a piece of the game.